life energy for your purpose. It's critical to stay with your purpose. And that's what Cindy and I are here to talk about.
Hi, we're really glad you're here. We just want to talk and share who we are with you. And we wish we could hear from you too.
Well, and I think that Cindy and I would like to talk about our own faith, because really it's our own experience of life. That how has God worked in our life? And how has God kept us on seeking Him throughout our life and living with a life purpose that comes from Him to drop away? I hear often in the scriptures, Cindy, the word perseverance, which tells me Jesus kept saying it. Jesus was saying it, but also the apostles saying it. Perseverance, perseverance. When do we let go? Cindy, I want to ask you, did you ever feel in your life that, that's it, I've just had it, I want to let go of God?
No.
No.
I'm the odd person in the
Well, I don't know if that's odd. I mean, there are other people like that, and God could have blessed you.
Yeah.
But, you know, we think about all of the things that you've been through just in the last 5 years, you know, with, you know, especially to me when I think of your life, the devastation of losing a nice, beautiful granddaughter and how heartbreaking that was. You know, a lot of people can't imagine.
Yeah, and it's always there. You know, it doesn't heal.
Right. Okay, Cindy, could you tell me, what would you say to a person who's been through some of the things that you've been through, who's saying, that's it, I don't care, I don't want God in my life anymore? How would you respond to that?
Well, I would say God loves you still. He will continue to love you. He will always be there. Someday, you'll be ready. Someday, you will think, but maybe God can help me. Maybe He's still there, and He will be.
Right. One of the passages that I point out, because I'm not saying, hey, I'm super faith guy. Yes, I'm a pastor. Okay, this is where I base my life in, you know. And one of my passages, I can't think of it now, is when Philip says to Jesus, "Show us the Father, and we'll believe you." You know, we're talking about believing in something that we cannot see.
That's right.
And you know, I struggle with doubt. You know, but the passage that has come to me from Isaiah 42, a smoldering wick I will not snuff out. Now, maybe, Cindy, when I talk to you about this, maybe you wouldn't identify with a smoldering wick. That there wasn't that. You said, no, I'm staying with you, God, no matter what. I lose my son, I lose my husband. You lost 2 husbands, and one at an early age.
And a son.
And a son. And you're saying, no, I am with you, God.
Oh, yeah, because I'm not always with Him, but He's always with me. I mean, I knew when my first husband died, and I was just, you know, shattered. I couldn't believe that could have happened to me. That's what my response was. God would never have let this happen. And yet He did. And I said, but I knew He was there with me. And I was mad, I was sad, and I was mad. And somehow I just happened to know that was okay. So God is still there, and I would be back. He didn't leave. You know, I might have went,
So you have felt that. If I came to you back then, I didn't know you then. If I said, Cindy, God loves you, He's always going to be with you, what would have that sounded like to you in your worst day?
Well, it would have sounded like, you don't have to tell me, I already know that. But right now I don't care. You know, right now I'm not happy. It's like raising a child. A child might want to do something that's very dangerous, and I say, no, you're not doing it. Child is not happy. Well, I can be that child.
And so, right, there were times when emotionally you would be in your life and things hurt you so much that you shut down. And you know, with your relationship, but you're saying, God, I'm still with you. I'm just not happy with you right now. I'm not happy with what's happened to me in my life.
And I would have to say, I knew He was right here. He was the one doing it, not me. he was here and I knew it.
He was here, and I knew it.
Yeah.
But that time of your life, it would have been like would it be a dim? How would you describe it, your faith during your worst days? Was it like a dim? It was like he was there, but you were...
No, it's like, I think my faith as a younger person was that God would do what I wanted him to do. And I was just really hit with, no, he's God. And he's always going to do what he said he's going to do, which is be with me. And so I knew that he was with me, but I didn't know that he was always going to do what I want.
So I'm almost hearing like from you with your walk with God is that one time it was that God, this is what I want and this is what I want you to do. And then I almost hear like there was a reverse where God became, you're going to do what you're going to do and I'm going to follow you.
Yeah. That God was being very clear with me that he's God. It's not about me, it's about him. And I can welcome him into my life. I can have a relationship with him. I can sit quietly with him and just say, come, Lord Jesus, and be in his presence. And I get to do that. Or I could ignore him.
Cindy, in your life, when you look back, okay, when that time when God was, and you were in charge, it seems like to me you were saying, this is my life, and God, you're kind of like, would describe it as a helper.
Yeah, sure.
And that I'm hearing that a change took place in your life where God became number one, and you put yourself under him, and you said that I will go with you. I will follow you despite the fact I don't like things.
Well, I'm going to follow him as long as he helps me follow him. You see, I don't have that strength in myself, but he's always there. And if I look to him, he will give me what I need to stay connected.
And see, that's the way I felt with my own life and my own battles.
Yeah.
Is I remember I get the vision. We're in church, we don't get a lot of visions like that. I mean, it wasn't a huge vision, but I just had a vision one time in a church service with that God holding on to my alt. We wear these alts, and I'm not wearing it now, but that it was God holding on to me that is the strength for my life. And that he has got me in his control. So, with Christianity, life comes down to not so much what we do by our own power, but we do by the power of the Holy Spirit.
Absolutely.
And that he holds on to us.
And sometimes he works when I think I'm getting it all wrong. And I think, well, I've tried, but I've done a really lousy job. Then I'll be shocked to hear something God did. He works regardless of how well we think we're doing.
Yeah, that God is at work.
Yeah, God is at work. And if we're trying to be in touch with him, trying to follow him.
Cindy, if I could record just what you said now, and if I could go back to the worst day of your life and say what you just said, could you tell me what that would have sounded like to you?
What I just said.
What you just said is that God is at work no matter how bad life is getting or whatever is happening. You don't see it, but you said that he's always at work. Okay, if I told you, if I recorded you and just said it just like the way you said it, and I came to Cindy on her worst day and I repeated those words, what would have that been like for you?
Well, I would be overcome with my own emotion, with my sadness and my grief. And I wouldn't care a whole lot about anything else. And I would have said, I know God's in control. But right now, my reaction was no.
Would it be counterproductive to say that to a person at their worst day?
No.
No, it would not.
No.
It would not.
No, we go through these things.
Right, but I think, the common, it's in life. The common problem for us as humans, I think, is that when somebody is hurting, we want to try to fix it. but we can't fix it. Only God can fix it, you know. And that we let God do the fixing. God does the healing. Yes, God can use us, but the best way.
Yeah.
In this church, one of the breakthroughs that we're having, one of them, I think we're having some breakthroughs, is learn to keep our mouth shut. Because when we keep our mouth shut, God is the one who does the work and we don't. But at the same time, we can say some things. You know, we got about 5 minutes here, Cindy, and what I want to do is I would like to talk about this and then talk about it in my own life too.
Yes.
Sleeping. You know, that we're here for a purpose, but we can sleep through life. And that Jesus, this is kind of a low passage that we say around here. Mark chapter 13, 35 and 36. Therefore stay awake, for you do not know when the master of the house will come, in the evening or at midnight, or when the rooster crows, or in the morning, lest he come and find you asleep. Now, I love the languages, and I see that the word asleep here is in the present tense, which means it's an ongoing thing. You sleep your whole life. Yeah. And I had this idea in my head when I first read it, sometimes we sleep, sometimes we're awake. You know, but when I listen to you two, I don't know if I would call it asleep. Or even me, I think my key problems of life is that I believe we as humans, we look for affirmation for what we believe in. In other words, it's based in ourselves and what we want to believe in. We talked before about making up a God in your own heads. And I think, well, what if I'm just doing that? What if I'm just making this all up? It's not that the God is really there. It's just that I want to believe he's there and whatever I think in my head. And that can cause me doubts. But I think that the sleeping part of it is, I think that we can just go through life and not ask, who are we? Where did we come from? The sleeping part of life is, I want to chase a career. That's what we're talking about. I don't know, you decided to become, pass the bar, become a lawyer. Well, that's who I am.
Yeah.
I'm a lawyer.
Well, you know, these passages talk about being made a new creation, you know.
Yes, thank you. That's 2 Corinthians
new creation.
Right here.
That's a new creation. And that's being awake. You know, that's being, okay, now I have the power of God inside of me.
Yeah.
You know, and so as long as I'm looking that way, looking at God, I'm not asleep. So I think that's what I would say.
Yeah. The big issue of life is if we're looking at God, he's number one. And we talked earlier about how when that transition took place in your life, then it was a big transition from my own life. Yeah. The problem with us, and I think what will cause us to snooze and lose, is that we replace God with something else.
Yeah, usually it's just with me.
Well, right, it's with
whatever
me.
it is I want.
How could you do it as a pastor? I could say, well, my life purpose will come down to how many people are in the pews on Sunday morning. Yeah. My life will come down to, will I get affirmation and love from the people that I am their pastor? My love or my purpose will come from, I'm really a good moral person in society. Well, that's a classic for a life. And that was really my life before Christ. It was, I'm a good person according to who? According to society. Well, God must think the same as society, but he doesn't. So, you know.
And he sees good in us because he's in us.
He does. He gives us our goodness.
Yes.
But when we try to get our goodness somewhere else, we sleep. I will call on God when I need him. I believe in him. We could have that attitude. Or atheist, I don't believe there's anything out there. All right. Or an agnostic, show me and I will believe. My goodness will be on myself and what I think. My rights. I say that's sleeping. Yeah. Is our life bigger than that? And then he says, don't let me come and find you sleeping. I mean, I'm not a big law guy, but this is a law passage that says, hey, man, you know what? You got to wake up in your life. Doesn't the Bible also say that? Wake up. Sleeper, right. That you wake up to a bigger reality of who you are. But I think that at the same time, it is like if you wake up to the reality of God, but you live with a God who just has rules. Be a good person. Do the right thing. Be nice to people. Treat other people the way you want to be treated. I mean, doesn't Jesus say that? I mean, you can go that way. When it's all about me, we're sleeping. I think when it's all about what Christ has done, we're awake for purpose and direction. So, Cindy, to close it up here today, what would you want to say for the last word?
Let's see. Oh, I shouldn't think too hard.
You give the last word, I'll give the last word.
You give the last word.
Okay, I'm going to give the last word. Wherever you're looking in life, look to Jesus Christ, not in what you think he should be, but really who he is. Why did he go to that cross? Why did he die? Why did he rise again? I mean, the essence of Christianity is really quite weird, so get to the weirdness, and I think you're on your way. But deal with your life. Deal with who Jesus was. Let God wake you up. He will walk with you. He will make a difference. Hey, thank you, everybody, for joining us. I hope you can come back again, and Cindy and I will be up, or other people in the church will be up too, to talk about these things.